Go.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to Real Mob Stories with James Proctor. And today I have a special guest, my friend and the founder of this channel, Lee Cole. How are you today?
James, I'm glad that you actually asked me if I wanted to do this, but this one I actually want to do. And we're going
Yes.
to talk about Scott Burnstein. And
Mm-hmm.
I wrote a list of questions I'm going to bring. I figured this would be the best way to do it. And I also talked to Joey Merlino, and Joey
Okay.
Merlino gave me a couple quotes. And I said
Can
to
we
him,
can we actually put them on the air or
well, they're Joey quotes, and Joey
yeah?
quotes, you never know
So
what
it
you're going to
won't
get out.
demonetize the channel then.
No, no, they're not that bad, but they're your typical Joey Merlino quotes.
Yeah.
And I'm looking forward to you. And people, just so my channel, Wrestling with the Devil, is doing great. If you haven't subbed, go over there and sub. We're doing good stuff over there, not mob stuff. When I want to do mob stuff, uh, my ex partner here brings me over. And I always like talking about Joey Merlino. And here's why I like talking about Joey Merlino, because
Why is that?
he's very down to earth. And if you
Yes.
watched his last live show, what did you
Mm-hmm.
think of his last live show?
Oh, it was. I mean, it was like a comedy hour. It's about an hour and a half. I thought it was a lot of fun. It was, and down to earth. I think that's the best term for Joey. It just seemed like that everyone. It was relaxed. Everyone was having fun, busting balls. It was kind of cool. Wasn't
And
it was
it didn't you feel
pretty
like it
good.
humanized Joey and it
Hmm.
humanized I mean Joey's kind of a serious guy, but
He is.
he looked like the type of guy if you're hanging out with him in a bar or something and having a couple drinks, he's funny as hell. And
Yeah, and Snuff is too. I
Snuff
thought
is
he was great.
and that's what I found. And on top of that, how many people were watching at one time?
Oh, it was 1,300, something like that.
That's better numbers than Sammy Gravano. That's better numbers than any of these other guys.
Yeah, isn't that amazing? I mean, I'm impressed with that to get that many people at one time. I mean, you don't see that with hardly any channel. It doesn't matter what genre it is.
And do you think that these lives are a good thing for him? Do you think it was a smart move?
Yeah, you know what? I really do. A couple of things is that if you want to compare, look at Sammy Gravano's lives versus Joey Merlino's lives. It's no comparison. Joey does very well with his lives. Sammy Gravano doesn't. Sammy has to stick with scripted shows, in my opinion, if he wants to maximize whatever he's trying to do. But Joey's seems to be very comfortable behind the camera, and he's doing well. They have the Patreon, but I think that the way they do that, where they have their content on Patreon, but then they'll do lives on YouTube, and they'll add segments to YouTube as well. I think that's the best way to do that.
And that last live was a couple days ago, and it's at 25K. And that's once
That's
usually when
crazy
you
for
do
a
it
live.
for a live, especially what you get afterwards, it says
Hmm.
a lot. And um, I was kind of surprised because I haven't watched it in a while because I've been doing my own thing, and I turned it on.
Mm.
I could not stop laughing.
Yeah.
You
Yeah,
know,
and I guess they're in Vegas, or they went to Vegas on Sundays, my understanding. And um, what it sounded like to me is they were going to talk to Pete Rose. So it'd be interesting if they're actually going to get an interview with him. I'd love that because he's still. I saw him on Vlad a couple of months ago, and he's actually in pretty good shape. I think he's 82 years
yeah,
old or something.
yeah, he is, and they're willing to forgive this guy that's talking BS in L.A.
Hmm. Yeah.
About him not being involved and having money stolen from his account by his interpreter.
Oh
I'm gonna
gosh.
only imagine what they're paying the interpreter to keep his mouth shut.
Oh, I mean, that's just a joke to me. No way that
Otani,
Otani's not involved in that.
there's
So
no, yeah, you just happen to have $4 million taken out of your account. Come on, and
no,
you didn't notice it. I mean, are you stupid? I don't think he's a stupid man. If I had to
no,
guess,
he's not.
so
No.
I think that he just got caught up in something. And I
Hmm.
think Major League Baseball is going to, even if they know the answer, they're not going to take their big mail ticket and throw
Hmm.
him out of baseball.
No, no, they're not.
When they threw Pete Rose out, he had a lot of enemies at that time.
He
Uh,
did.
they couldn't stand him. He was at that time, I believe, he was the manager for the Reds when that all went down,
He
and
was.
they gave him a lifetime ban. Or you got Shoeless Joe Jackson, who hit 300, 330 something in the World Series and still got thrown out. So
Yeah, I
this is
know.
like hypocritical, typical bullshit. We
Yep.
don't want to. We don't want to throw this guy Otani's making us a ton of money in the biggest market going,
Yep.
Hollywood.
Exactly. I agree.
Now, we're going to talk about this guy, this guy right here. You know, if you shaved your head, James, you might look like this.
Yeah. Oh my
This is
gosh.
Scott Burnstein.
Yeah.
What do you overall? I know that you liked his show, you liked his books. Are you kind of surprised on the stance he's taking on this whole thing and trying to make the mob look like it even exists at the level that he's claiming right now?
Yeah. I mean, where I haven't had as much respect for Scott since he did the book with that fraud. I thought his book on Leonetti was good, but since then I'm not sure about him. And so he's a guy from Detroit, supposedly having all these inside sources with the Genovese and Gambino's families and plus Philly. And so it sounds like a great scripted show to me. I don't believe that,
Yeah, are
maybe
you
some
there,
he thinks it's true. Yeah, I'm here.
James?
Yeah, or can you hear me?
Yeah, you just froze up, but let me make sure.
Oh,
Okay, we're
that's
good.
weird.
That's
Yeah.
okay. Okay, so so you're saying that um, you're disappointed. Let's just go over it again. What exactly are you
Yeah.
disappointed in?
Yeah, so, the thing is that I don't believe that he has these sources in New York and Philly giving him all this inside information. He's probably getting information. Maybe he's getting information from
That,
informants or
yeah, we kind of Joey thinks he knows where he's getting his info. Matter of fact, we have two quotes. We're going to put that
okay.
one up first. What do you think? This is a
Yeah, let's
Joey
do it.
quote. This is an actual Joey quote. Got permission to use it. And I even said, Joey, do you have a quote that you'd like to give this thing for Scott? And he says, yeah, I do. And it was a typical Joey style when he sent it to me. Hey, two quotes here that are kind of funny. The first one is, yes, his source, yes, I'll give me a quote. Yes, his source is Phil Leonetti and they're lovers.
Yeah. That is a typical Joey quote.
Okay, so this is a young version. If you see the old version of Phil Leonetti, he has a mop on his head. But
Mhm,
this guy is a big rat. This guy
mhm.
betrayed his, didn't he betray relatives and stuff while he was
Yeah,
making
his
like a
uncle.
killing?
So he Nicky Scarfo, he betrayed and he testified in several other trials as well.
And didn't he have supposedly have something to do with the Testa killing?
Yeah, so he was involved in that killing, and he was involved in several killings that his uncle was part of as well.
Okay. Yeah. So he's not a nice guy.
No.
And these guys, what do they do when they get caught? They run, run, run like babies. And who do they run to? They run to guys like this that will say anything that they say.
Right.
Okay. And
Exactly.
so I'm gonna run this first one. Scott Bernstein states that the so-called issues between Philly and New York are resolved.
Hmm.
What do you
Yeah,
think?
I didn't even know there were even really any problems between Philly and New York for probably since 1993 or so. So, been 30 years in my opinion.
I heard they were all going to the mattresses. You had Genovese in one corner, you had
Mhm.
the Philly family in another corner, and you had the Gambinos, and they were all on the mattresses.
Oh,
Uh,
hitting the mattresses,
they
yeah.
were hitting the
Yeah.
mattresses at
Oh my
probably
gosh.
probably a Hilton.
Yeah, no kidding.
Okay, so
I
you think
just don't
that's
see it.
okay? Okay, next question. The Genovese and Gambino families were upset. This is what he's saying. These are quotes by. Okay, he said they were upset that Joey Merlino went from doing sports tips to doing government bashing and talking about informants. First of all, I like to say, why the fuck would they care whether Joey talks about informants?
Yeah, I know. I mean, I don't why would they care? Maybe informants don't like it, but why would he care, you know? Or why would New York
Unless
care?
unless Burnstein's sources are informants.
Yeah, that's kind of what I'm thinking, you know.
Yeah, especially if he's getting his information from one of the biggest cowardly informants there is, Phil Leonetti.
Hmm.
So you're saying basically you're saying that they're upset that he's doing sports.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think they have too much they're dealing with. I mean, they're trying to survive in New York. I mean, there hasn't been really much influence of New York into Philly for, 20, 30 years. So I just don't see that happening. But, I what I do see is I think that's a good theory that maybe he's talking to Phil Leonetti.
Yeah, and Stevie Mazzone, who is in prison on 6-year racketeering conviction, and Joe
Hmm.
Langambini, Langambi,
Lagambi, yeah. Uh-huh.
Lagambi, uh,
Hmm.
supposedly they had to do damage control with New York. Uh, it was a big thing going on there. Also, Narducci is supposedly making trips to New York.
Yeah, supposedly made 3 trips to New York in the past, couple of months to smooth things over with New York, and so,
Get the
you don't
fuck out!
re
Do you know how stupid that sounds?
I know. You
This
don't
sounds
have
like
any commission or any of that.
testing, testing.
Yeah, I hear you.
It sounds like this is like they're making something for TV movie,
Yeah.
or a poor version of a mob movie. That's what this sounds like.
Yeah, I mean, that's what to me, it sounds like a story to me more than anything. It sounds like something you'd put on to into some sort of movie or TV show. Exactly.
And Jeff Nadeau used to be close with him, and he's no longer
Bernstein, yeah.
close with him, from what I'm understanding. And
Yeah.
he just did something on this too. It's not just you know reality and facts are two different things. One, you're in Detroit.
Mhm.
Why a New York guy is going to be talking to you? You know, who did you write a book about? You wrote it. Didn't he write a book about Linetti?
Yeah, exactly. Mafia Prince. That's what he wrote.
A very popular book, right?
Yeah, it's very popular. Yeah.
So it's obvious that he has his phone number. He has to be talking to somebody. And so Phil, what does he think, that these guys, Mazzone and stuff, would be talking to Linetti?
Yeah. I mean, that wouldn't happen, obviously. I mean, Leonetti's afraid to, even be seen. So it's just not possible that they
And
would
here
talk
comes
to
when
him.
you can consider someone a rat. First of all, Joey Merlino's Scott can swear that Joey Merlino is the boss of
Hmm.
Philly. And
Yeah.
he keeps saying it in his articles.
Yes.
First of all, Scott, if this is true, I personally don't think it's true, but if it is, why would you be ratting this man out like that? Why would you say that? Are
Hmm.
you trying to tell the government or something? Don't you get it that this is high level ratting?
Yeah.
What do
Guess
you
he
think?
doesn't. Yeah, I mean, I do. I feel the same way. I mean, there was information that came out. I think even Capisi put it out, and I wasn't going to reveal the names of the boss of the Genovese and Gambino families. It's just that for me, I mean, it's not like the government doesn't know who they are. I just don't want to um, be the type of person that gives out that information, even if everyone knows it. It's just to me, it's a type of snitching, in my opinion, and
Do you
there's no need
think,
to do that.
your honest opinion, do you think Joey Merlino is still the boss of Philly?
No, I think that I don't think he's the boss of Philly. I think he's trying to make money. I think that's what all of this is about, in my opinion, that he's trying to
Like
build a
everybody
brand.
here wants to do. They want to make a living.
Yeah, I think he's wanting to make a living. I mean, I know that he's got a lot of business ideas that are coming down the pipe. And the thing is if you can have a huge social media presence, that helps in all aspects of that. Anything from uh, stuff in Hollywood to financing to anything, sponsorships. I mean, if you have a lot of people that watch you, then that's going to open up the doors for legitimate business. And in everything that I see with Joey Merlino is that he's trying to build a legitimate legacy.
And according to Burnstein, as I said, Joey is going to step down as the boss and concentrate on legit business.
Yeah, he's
When I read
already
these
doing.
things, I get kind of a little bit nauseous, to be honest with you, because
Yeah.
when I'm reading these, one, they're not true, but two, if they were, why would you be talking about it?
Well, I mean, it's funny that 10 years ago, I mean, the George Anastasia already went over this with Joey Merlino, and Joey said, "Hey, I'm no longer the boss." I mean, it's been 10 years, and I just don't know why people still want to consider him the boss. Boss of what?
But all the rats out there nowadays, you don't think that these guys would be saying Joey's the boss? All of them. There's so many rats out there. You turn your head sideways, there's a rat. So
Well,
that's
yeah,
why.
especially if they're still on payroll. If there's a way they can give information, stay, you know, continue to receive government checks each month, and they're going to say anything.
And here's the scary part. You ready? This is a scary part. New
What's
York
that?
was upset and was going to force Joey to resign if he didn't stop his podcast.
Yeah. So how would they do that? Number one, two, if it was true. Number two, so they're going to jam themselves up. If you've got someone that's supposedly the boss, that's that's under the watchful eye of the government, you're going to go over there and try to do something? No. I mean, it's just silly. They've got too many other things to be concerned about. They're trying to survive. They're not worried about what some guy's doing in Philadelphia, especially
And
he's not even the boss.
they're going to say, hey, go to Philly, get in the car and go to Philly. Just watch out for the 5 marked cars following you down
Yeah.
I-95. Is that what they're going to do?
Well, I mean, that's what it sounds like, but it's just, to me, I mean, it's just people with overactive imaginations.
Okay, here's another one. Talks include possibly of Joey moving to consigliere role and staying as a figurehead boss, but he would no longer share in most of the rackets.
Yeah, that's stupid. So why would someone want to stay in as, so let's say he was a boss. He's not, but let's say he's a boss. So he's going to stay on as a figurehead, but be the target of the government, but not even receive any of the money from the rackets. I mean, that's just crazy to me.
Yeah, and if he was a boss right now, he basically would be considered a figurehead. That's all.
Yeah.
Because he's out there doing his own thing. But that's not the case. I'm just saying.
Well, yeah, he's doing it. He's doing his own thing. And then to be consigliere, I mean, it's just someone with an overactive imagination is what it is.
Now, I love these words when these reporters use these words. Speculation.
Speculation.
Oh, I love those words. Speculation. Who the hell's speculating? Speculation that Joey will be spending more time in Philly and just spend the winter in Boca Raton. So Joey's going to become a snowbird gangster.
Oh my gosh. I mean, and that's not even, it's not even news to me. So he's going back and forth. He's going everywhere, right? He's in Philly one week, he's down in Florida the next, he's in Las Vegas. So he somehow someone's saying, oh, he's got these plans. He's going to be in Florida for 3 months a year, the rest of the time in Philly. I mean, that's just again, pretty funny.
Does that mean that stuff is going to become a young version of a snowbird?
Yeah, that's what it sounds
because
like.
everywhere you see Joey, you see Snuff. So that means Snuff is going to be moving down to Florida. And
yeah,
well, I don't know what his life is, but They're always together, and you could
Yeah.
see when they're
Maybe
on.
he's a car sell. Maybe he'll get a car dealership down there in Florida. So
Well, you know something. It's kind of funny when you hear all this stuff, James, because uh, it seems like Scott Bernstein's been living off this Joey thing.
yeah,
Uh, he's literally been living. And listen, we know that in this business, you go with who's hot and who's not.
right,
Okay, Joey's hot, and most of the
hmm
other guys are not.
right.
You know, Joey, Sammy, Michael, and what's his name? Mikey Scar,
Mikey
both
Scars. Yeah.
Mikeys. Okay,
hmm
three of them are, but the difference is Joey's not an informant. He never ratted.
Right,
Those guys did,
right.
but they still have their people that follow them. So those are
Mhm.
the people. If you want to survive in the mob industry or in the mob genre, those are the people you got to talk about.
Yeah, I agree.
But you know,
I mean, people don't. It's just that you've got a very small percentage of people that um, follow the history. It's either they already know the history, like Peel and you, they know that history, and so it's stuff that's been talked about. But you get someone that's a celebrity, meaning that these people have a big following. So those are the people that people tune in and want to listen to. I mean, it's just normal, just common sense, to be honest.
so where do you think this goes? I guess that what's going to happen is Scott doesn't care. He's just going to keep going with this. You know, he's tied into the Genovese family. He's tied into to every family in the United States. He's tied. I hear that he's tied into the Traficantes in Florida too. That's how he
Yeah.
knew about that. That's how he knew Joey was going to become a snowbird because he probably
Oh
talked to a
God.
Traficani in Florida.
Oh my gosh. Yeah. No, I mean, it's just going to. I think it'll just continue for as long as the story can be played out, and then he'll go to something else.
And you know, that's the thing though. Joey Merlino, if he thinks that you're treating him right, he's easy to get a hold of.
He
If
is
you if he thinks you're treating him like shit, he ain't gonna talk to you. I'm
right.
lucky. I've always been lucky because whenever I reached out to Joey, he's always replied to me. Always.
Yeah.
I treat him with respect, and he's treating me with respect. So I look
Yeah.
at it this way. Like this morning, I went and asked him two questions,
hmm
and he answered them.
Yeah.
So I got an
Yeah.
idea,
He's good
Scott.
about
Yeah,
that.
Scott, go on Instagram. Ask Joey. Stop making up stories.
Yeah.
You
That
know.
is ironic. Why didn't he get a quote from Joey on all of this? Get his thoughts on
Well, Joey's
on.
quote to him would have been, "Go fuck yourself." That would
Yeah.
have been Joey's quote most likely. But
Yeah.
I,
True.
yeah, so I'm glad we can kind of do a show on this. You know why we're gonna do a show on this too? Because it's um, they want attention from Joey. Most people want attention from him.
Right.
But when you get attention with it from him, do you want him to come at you, which is ugly, or do you
Right.
want him just to be respectful about you? And his one of his quotes about "fuck that bald f," talking about Bernstein.
Yeah.
That was from his show.
Right. I
So he's,
saw that.
if he wants that negative attention, I guess he's got that negative attention. But if anybody knows Phil Leonetti, it would be Joey Merlino, wouldn't it?
Oh yeah. Yeah. I mean, he definitely knows who Phil Leonetti is and what he did.
And that's the thing, though. People, you don't understand. Well, most people understand this. Joey never did any of that stuff that any of these guys did, or any of these guys that Bernstein associates with.
Right. Yeah. I mean, yeah, that's a total truth. So yeah, I mean, you have to really wonder about the sources and everything. I mean, it's just to me, active people, they're not going to talk to. I just don't see them talking to him about this stuff, and I don't think it's anything. I don't think it's true though. I mean, he may be telling the informants that are upset by Joey. We've seen that. It's Lee. It's interesting. I'd never seen people as triggered as when Joey came out onto YouTube. I never saw that with anyone else that started a show.
No, certain things that trigger you. It's like we were talking
Yeah.
about when I went to see Sammy Gravano. Um,
Mhm.
what do we have? Like maybe 10,000 negative remarks toward me?
Yeah, but it really helped this
Uh,
show get to the next
And I
level,
left them
though.
all there. But, some things piss people off.
Yeah, it
Joey
does.
Merlino pisses people off, but usually the people that are pissed off are the ones that deal with the informants. And
Yeah.
that's pretty much what it comes down to.
Yeah, I agree with you.
So finally, just so you know, people, as I said, the two quotes. Yes, his source is this is Joey speaking. And so, Scott, if you're thinking it's me, it's not. I would never say this, but Joey would. Your source is Phil Linetti, and
I think they're
he
lovers.
thinks you're lovers. I don't know. And whatever floats your boat, it ain't my business. And the other quote is, yes, yep, lion jerk off. He even wrote it his way, Jurk. So if that's how Joey spells jerk off, that's how we spell it from now on.
Yeah. God, too
Okay.
funny.
You want me to read the other stuff that we close our
Sure.
show out with?
Yeah, yeah, please do so.
Okay, so please join Angel Gotti, my father's daughter, on Patreon. The link will be below this. Oh, I like this one right here. This one I like. Please sub to Lee's channel at Wrestling with the Devil. And that show's growing real fast too.
It is.
Okay.
And we'll have
And
there'll be a live tonight
yeah, it's
on
8 o'clock
Monday.
tonight, 8 o'clock
Yeah.
tonight, Eastern. There'll be a live on my channel. And we're going to talk about the evil bastard named Vince McMahon and his cronies. And there's Vince McMahon. You want a gangster? That's another gangster, Vince
That
McMahon.
is.
And with
Maybe
that,
some talk about WrestleMania as well. There was some pretty interesting stuff there
yes, it
too.
was. Yes, it was. And the Yankees are 8-2. Baseball, right there, guys.
Yeah.
8-2.
Best start in a while.
Yeah. And I'm an avid Yankee fan. I'm glad about it. And you're an Atlanta fan. I think they're doing pretty good too.
Yeah, they're doing good.
And what everybody else, thank you. And James, take it out, baby.
Yeah. So hey Lee, thank you for being here, and just wanted to appreciate the discussion. I think that is a lot of fun as always. So everyone, please like and subscribe, and put your comments down, and we'll respond. Everyone have a great day.
Take care, people.
Take care.